will a 33-inch tire actually fit under the Tacoma? Let's find out. Well, good morning everybody. How are you today? Pretty good here, and welcome back to the channel. So will a 33-inch tire actually fit underneath the Tacoma? Well, I'm going to take it down off the rack. I'll show you guys that, what process that is. And then we're going to put it under there and take a look. And I'm doing this for a reason. We're going to see just what it would take to make a 33-inch tire fit under the Tacoma. Let's get that thing down. Okay, first of all, I need to take the lock and the cable off that I have in the center. So, we have the key on the key ring here. Let's go ahead and see if we can't pull this thing off. Should be pretty easy, this part. Set that aside. Next, we have to see about getting these thumb screws off that I put on. Not sure if I can do that by hand or if I'll actually need a pair of pliers, but let's see. Yeah, they're on there pretty tight. Well, you get one side off. Let's check this side. Yeah, I'm gonna need a pair of pliers for the other side. Okay, got some pliers here. Alright, takes one out. Okay. Tire is now free. Now we just have to get the tire down off of here. Now this tire weighs about 80, I think it's about 82 pounds, something like that. So it's not a light proposition, but my way of doing it, I guess, would be to pull it up towards me, like so. Balance it on the edge of the rail, and set it down. Not too hard, not too bad. And then of course, I'd have to get down, still balancing the tire, and go ahead and bring it down here to the ground. Okay, like I said, while that was not seamless, it really wasn't that difficult. But we're going to go ahead and lower the carrier, and I'm going to hook the aftermarket spare that I have, I guess, up to it, and then we're going to connect it, raise the truck, and see what it really looks like under there and what would need to be done to make that tire fit. Okay, got the spare tire up. Let's take a look and see just what would need to be done to make it fit in there. And we're going to start here in the rear. And you can see there's plenty of room here. So we're clearing this frame or hitch mount back here in the rear. So that's really not a concern. On the side here, I don't know what you call this. I guess the leaf spring and frame. We're clearing that. We're almost to the top here though. Matter of fact, I think we're basically at the top up here, touching. Let's see if I can get a shot up there. There you go. I mean, we're almost touching on this cross member here. Really not a lot of play to get the tire down any lower there. How about over here? Over here we're not touching. Well, we are touching right here. There, you guys can see. Well, we're close. There's a little bit of light there. There's a shot across the whole thing. But where we run into problems, a couple of spots. You can see, of course, the tire is angled. It's not sitting flat, which means it's binding somewhere, right? So, where? Well, over here, right back here, you have this little flange. I don't know what you call this either, but this is where the tire is supposed to go up and fit in this area. It's obviously hitting on the edge, so it can't go up any further there. If it could, that would level out the tire, and of course, that's what everyone talks about beading on, to open it up a little bit more to be able to fit that tire up there. And that certainly is an option. How about over here on the other side? Let's see if we can get a shot in there. Right there, you can see it's hitting on the tire too, right here. So these would need to be opened up a little bit, and that could be done. Someone had suggested just kind of hitting them a few times with a mallet, and I'm sure that that could be done. The other thing, which is more concerning to me, is the exhaust. Right here, it is right up against the flange, or the shield, I guess, on the exhaust. You guys can see there. Shake it around a little bit. That's my more major concern. I don't know how hot this pipe really gets. I mean, it is quite a distance from the engine, but I wouldn't be comfortable leaving that sitting like that. So that means the other option would be cutting the pipe back there, right about right here. Let it come down somewhere in that area, and then cut it off, get rid of the tailpipe, which actually wouldn't be a bad look. I would lose the TRD insignia, of course, but there'd be no tailpipe coming out of the end, and it would just exhaust right here. I think that's far enough away from the cab that I wouldn't have any issue with fumes, although I'm not positive of that. And there are, of course, downpipe exhausts, you know, that dump out underneath the truck anyway, that are manufactured that way. So I don't know that that's such a big deal. So the real thing, I guess, is opening up these flanges, or these little holder areas, so that this tire would fit. Now, what about the rear end here? Let's take a look at that. Do we have clearance there? I'm talking about right here. And as you can see, it's close, but we're not touching here. I mean, there is a little bit of space in between, so it wouldn't be impacting the rear end back here. So at least not the way it sits right now. Open up those holders and it might be a different story. So I think what I'm going to do next, because I'm curious to see if it would work with those holders open and not impact the rear end, is go ahead and hit those a couple times. See if we can't bend them out a little bit. Why not? All right, let's take a look. Got the headband on. You know I've been working. I was able to get it up there. You guys can see right here. It is pretty much mounted how it would be mounted if I was to store it underneath. Now, let's take a look at a couple of things. First of all, we are up against this little side member here, if you will. There is room over here. Except for this, we'll get to in a minute, where it could actually go this way a little bit, so it wasn't contacting that. I don't know that that's a big deal. Not concerned about that. Back here on these little feet or flanges, whatever they're called here, right here, I did bend them out. It is right up against the edge of the tire now. I actually think I might hit that a few more times, just to open it up a little bit more. And then over here, I think you can see the same thing. Right, let me find it right here. It is up against the tire right here as well. So it is possible to bend those out a little bit. It wasn't a whole lot, maybe about 1.5 inches on each side, something like that. So it does fit that way. Up here on top, it is up against this cross member here, right here. That's not necessarily a bad thing. That just means it's going to hold it in place. So I don't really have any issue with that either. My only remaining issue is the exhaust. It is against the exhaust, right up against that heat shield. So if I'm going to do this, then something has to go here. And to me, that means we got to cut the pipe back here. That's a whole nother undertaking, so we'll see if I actually do that. That means removing the exhaust and then taking a Sawzall to the pipe, and as I mentioned before, cutting it somewhere right here in this area, I think, just behind the tire, and having it dumped down this way. So I guess To answer the popular question, will it fit? Yeah, it will fit. The spare tire will fit underneath the Tacoma with some adaptations, some modifications. And then there's the exhaust to deal with. So I'm gonna sit back, figure out if I want to cut the exhaust or not. Chances are I probably will. And then we'll look at mounting the spare tire underneath. The third mounting position from the beginning of my little spare tire saga, I guess. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this. Let me know if this is something you would do to get that spare tire mounted underneath, or if it's just too extreme. I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, if you haven't before and you're interested, check out my other channel. It is RobMotive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator back there. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.